Yes. I try to get in how many pieces of fruit and vegetable are we supposed to take in per day? Yeah, it's about 7 to 10. So it seems like a chore, but I got so used to it because I feel good. And I can get to sleep properly, and I can work out the next day. I try to get the 7 to 10. And then I have to be an example to my college kid and my 9-year-old. So I try to, and my patients too. So I think if we all live like we want to affect the cause, we live the cause and the dream that we want our patients to experience. So anyway, yes, I try to squeeze as much as possible. And then this is my dinner. My wife is Filipino. She cooks great. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, it's a lot of pork. If you've ever been to a Filipino party, it's like all brown. However, we're making a change to the local community and our relatives by introducing stuff from Whole Foods. Or I got one of my relatives to switch from jasmine rice to quinoa, which is a big switch if you ask ethically how to. If you have somebody who's very used to jasmine rice, everything, then you say quinoa, which I think is great. Those of you who eat quinoa, it's a great smell, and I think it soaks up sauce differently. But I was able to make a change, and that's just one person. But he'll change his kid, and his kid will change other kids. My niece now likes quinoa, likes greens, doesn't like processed food, and that's going to be a whole generation by itself to make a change, and she'll change other people. So, and then the portion control. I put the portion plate. I know it's tacky, but it's portion control too. You have to know portions. You have to know when to quit. There's a saying in Japanese. I have a good friend from Okinawa who also did the fellowship, and it's I think he pronounced it hari hachibu. It's stopping eating when you're 7/10 full. When you know, like Thanksgiving, you know you're about full, it's getting tight, you stop immediately. There's time out, you stop. Versus continuing to engorge, which is one of the problems with waiting till the last minute to eat anything. When you have the series of hormones that are released that you are starving, even though you're not starving, but if you're driving home, you're stuck in traffic or there's snow and it's an hour instead of 10 minutes, and you said, I'll wait till I get home before you called up your spouse, and suddenly it's an hour, you're starving, your brain is starting to secrete hunting hormones, cortisol. When you get home, that one plate that you have will not be enough. Even if you're full and your belt is tight, your brain will say starvation an hour ago, continue to eat more. Even if you don't want it, you'll hunt for it. That's the idea about eating on a regular basis and eating good foods. Eating foods or having snacks in the car with or I call it a go bag. So the summary for the anti-inflammatory diet, again, is mostly whole foods. And if whole foods gives you less fatigue, fantastic. Mostly plant-based diet, less cholesterol. 1/3 of the people in this room will have elevated cholesterol levels. HDLs will be mediocre, but LDLs, well, most of you are women, so LDLs will probably be on the high side, total cholesterols will be high. But having less cholesterol, that means one less pill a day. Fat, again, common emotion. I think it helps with the gut, helps with relaxing and keeping emotional stability, helps with menopause. Limiting red meat improves digestion, easier to digest food. Dairy, again, rash and other things that are associated with dairy. And then increasing fiber usually means less medicine. So in a nutshell, the winner of today's combat with regards to gluten versus paleo versus anti-inflammatory. How many people practice a gluten-free diet? Just raise your hand. Okay, great. About a third. Fourth to a third. How many people practice or have tried the paleo diet? No? How many people have done or practiced anti-inflammatory diet? That's unfair because anti-inflammatory kind of encompasses everything. So I know it's kind of weighted, but bottom line is that all diets are really beneficial. The fact that you're in here means that you're considering making a change, or you're considering enforcing somebody else to make a change. So the fact that you're in here puts you away from the majority of the population that's on their way to heart attack, diabetes, and cancer. So what we wanted to stress most with our talk today was that really the only study that has been time and time again reproduced in medical journals has been the Mediterranean diet, with its benefit towards decreasing all causes of mortality. That means cancer, heart disease, diabetes, everything. And the Lyon Heart Study was the one that you can quote back about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And the Mediterranean diet and its great results were put up against the standard American diet. So all you have to do if you want to see what the opposite is go with our diet. Sustainability is always important, as we have said a couple times. You can make changes, but if it's too difficult to sustain, then you need some help to get step-ladder approach to get there, or ways to tweak around which diet to go for to make you successful. And then the most important thing would be to get reliable information. The internet is full of a lot of good stuff. I've seen Mercola's website, I've seen other websites. Really, I have to be the guy who kind of sifts through. So when patients come to me with stacks of information, I have to kind of pick and choose which studies are good. I usually will use Google Scholar or NIH's PubMed as far as reliable studies. Anything outside of that, I don't know. I really have to, just like the vitamin thing. Anything, there's a whole bunch of different vitamin companies out there, but you really have to kind of query and research on your own to defend yourself. Coaching is very important. Anybody that comes to see me, I will usually say you only have to see me once every quarter. If you haven't made any changes after the first time you see me, I implore you to have a coach behind you. You can't do it, I really do it the first time around. If you want to make a change, if somebody's been diagnosed in your family or your friends and somebody just passed away and you want to make a change, my suggestion is don't waste time. Hire somebody who's good that can help make the steps a little shorter. Sustainability is sometimes tough when you're already knee deep in a disease process. I can help give medications, but it's really up to who you're going to be in contact with on a daily basis to help you maintain it, especially when you're trying to withdraw. Has anyone done an elimination diet? That is tough in the first, I did that, and it's tough in the first week. You get crabby. In fact, after working with Dr. Jen and seeing my patients get better with her, I always anticipate that within about 3 days of an elimination diet, most people will call up saying, I can't make it, this is ridiculous. Did you ever wrestle?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
wrestlers.
I did it with a girlfriend at the time, so it's easier. I had a partner.
It does make it, when you have a partner do it, excellent. Yeah. If you don't have a partner to do it, then I say warn everybody you're going to be in a crabby mood or take some time off. FMLA, because you're going to be thinking the wrong way. Seriously, I write notes saying this person will be off for about a week. After the week, though, when your gut is now working better, because there's a release of energy. When your gut doesn't have to digest this glue, and it just has to digest natural fruits and vegetables, high fiber, that digest on their own, it doesn't have to do as much energy, so you have this massive release of energy to other things. You can think better, there's no more of that brain fog, you can sleep better intercourse. But it just releases after the hill. What did you call that release they expect?
Oh, the Herxheimer reaction?
Yeah, the Herxheimer reaction is when we usually expect. Most of my patients will have them see Katrina Christie. She's the counselor in the office, just to make sure everything is stable in life, because when that time comes, the Herxheimer reaction, all hell breaks loose. But if it's expected, it's easier to tolerate. So
How
again,
long does it take to get through that? A week? Or?
I'll probably.
Everyone varies. The average would be a week, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Herxheimer reaction.
I've had people go upwards of a week, though, so that's not the norm. The norm is more a week.
And what is the reaction like?
Um,
Crabby?
It's different for everyone.